Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Let's Go Live. Because let's go live. Hi, I'm live. Welcome. I'm Jane Gardner, and welcome to Let's Go Live. This is episode 5, and we're going to be talking about setting up your studio space. Because you need a space for your studio in order to do live streaming. You don't always need it, but if you want to do it on a regular basis, it's always good to set up a studio space. So let's go and talk about going live. So let's go and do the presentation. And we are going to be talking about sharing your connections with your audience because we're going live. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm in Western Canada, and I'm an artist, and we have dogs and cats, and we like to travel, and I'm an artist. And I have lots of websites, as you can see. It's easy for me. As well, I have a TV channel network called the Visibility Broadcasting TV Network. And I have 4 channels on there right now called Finding Your Purpose, Business Success, Home Biz Startup, and the Business of Home-Based Business. And I've done this over the last couple of years, and so I've developed a system to get you from invisible to having your own TV channel called the Ultimate TV Channel System. And of course, these TV channels are on Roku and Amazon Fire. But that's for another time. For now, let's go and talk about the outline for the show. And I was just adjusting it so it went and moved on me. So the outline is we've already done why you need to go live. And we've had a couple episodes on mindset. And later I'll tell you where to find those. As well, we're going to be talking about studio setup. And today we're talking about space. And then we'll talk about video off camera for those of you who don't want to do on camera. And then we'll be talking about the free platforms to go live, like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, your mobile phone, and your free broadcasting software, like OBS. I haven't taken out XSplit. My apologies. And mobile. As well, we're going to talk about making the investment to have a paid broadcasting software like Zoom, XSplit, StreamYards is one of the ones that you could use. And then we're going to talk about how you can multi-stream and the software you need for that. As well, we're going to be having interviews with entrepreneurs who have a show, interviews with software companies, Get on Camera Challenge Quarterly, and interview with new entrepreneurs having success with their show. And let me just talk to you directly. I will be having... my mouse wasn't working properly. I will be having my first Get on Camera Challenge in August. I'll be having talks, and we'll talk about your software, your equipment, your mindset, your scripting, and by the end of the challenge, you should have your own show mapped out. And then, of course, there'll be bonuses for that. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to talk to you face to face and say that, yes, we'll be doing a challenge. Yay! Haven't got it up yet, the link, but hey. And it will be in August so that you can be ready for September and selling to everybody who's back from holidays. So think about that while we continue. So we are going to be talking, well, we won't be talking because we've already talked about this. Why you need to go live is, of course, you need to be seen as the expert that you are. You need to be able to tell your message to people. You need to be able to discuss it with people. You need to make relationships with people by being live. Not many people these days will talk to you with you not on camera because you could be a robot or artificial intelligence. So it's becoming more important that you are seen and you are a person that is human, that people can connect with, because there's a lot of artificial intelligence out there creating robots and things. So if you want anybody to trust you, you better be live. So we discussed that, and we looked at mindset as well, and mindfulness, because mindset is everything. Mindset is what will get you on camera. Mindset is what gets you on camera and gets you doing your messaging, gets you in action, and gets you producing and getting you off your couch and doing your business and on camera. So I talked about mindset a lot, about my mindset for the last 2 episodes. So I'll show you later where you can find those discussion on mindset. Because without the mindset right, you're not going to get on camera. So let's go on, and we'll talk about what's today's episode. We're going to look at your studio space. We're going to think about your studio space. Maybe I'll talk about my studio space before we get on. Next time, I'll probably show you a photo of my messy, very small studio. I'm lucky enough to have a big desk that has a room for my computer and a second monitor and even a printer. Hey! However, it is a very small space so that you cannot see what is behind me or to the sides of me. And one day I will show you, probably next week, because we'll make a discussion on studio space. But honestly, you could probably do this in a closet, because that's all you really need. I think I worked it out that my viable space here is about 6 feet by, I don't know, 3 feet, 4 feet. Next time I'll show you the pictures. They're pretty messy. You can't really see too much, but you probably won't believe me that I don't have a huge studio. And to be honest, we'll be talking about sound and light and ambient sound. And you'll find that you don't want to have a big space. So let's go and have a look at thinking about your studio. So you have to find a place in your house or in your apartment that is dedicated just to your studio. And when I'm talking studio, I mean a webcam, a computer, and a microphone, and what was the other thing? Oh, lights. Couple of lights. So we'll be talking about those things in more depth. But today we've got to figure out a space where you can leave your equipment all set up and connected so it's quick to do a video. Because there's nothing more stopping you than thinking that you have to set up your studio each time. If you have a dedicated space, then you can do a quick video for 10 minutes anytime. And it's not going to stop you knowing that you have to set up your green screen, you have to set up your lights, you have to set up this and set up that. It's going to slow you down, and you'll never get started when you think about all that. So you need to find a space, whether it's your bathroom or it's your kitchen or a closet or your bedroom. I can show you later ways to make it look nice, obviously. Let me go back to me on camera. I am in my basement den, very crowded basement den with a green screen behind me, making a very nice background, and then a couple of lights, and either side I have tons of books, but none of that you need to see. So what I can do is I will show you what I mean, and I will of course turn off my chroma key. Where is my chroma key? They always change it here. None. Oh, look at that. How awful. So that's me. That's the camera. And I turn on the chroma key, and voila. We're back to a nice bright background. And much more impressive. So let's go and talk about planning your space. So as I mentioned, you have to figure out a space where you might want to set it up. Are bigger rooms better? Well, yes, there is less problem with audio and light. Small rooms can have sound bounce off back and forth from walls. Same with light, it bounces and it's uneven from one area to the next. As well, so you may not find the perfect spot where light and sound are even in a smaller room. So a smaller room is more likely for sound to echo in a small room. So when I said use a closet, we will discuss later the sound control panels that you can add within a space to help you with sound and make it sound great. But for now, you have to think about why bigger rooms might be better. Does not mean you have to use all of the space in the bigger room, but you might consider that because there's less chance of the sound or the light being bouncing. Smaller rooms can be harder to control the lighting, especially if there are windows. Lights above lighting the room may be too close to recording areas, causing uneven lighting on your face, etc. Now, I have, for example, fluorescent lights. You should never use fluorescent lights for lighting unless you want to be yellow. So my fluorescents are actually behind my green screen, so they don't affect my space too much, especially when my lights are on because they're much brighter. But you have to consider what lights are coming and what kind of windows there might be in the room and where is the light coming from. And we'll talk about ambient light at another time. And a bigger room, the light can be more even in the room, and there wouldn't be an echo or sound bouncing in a bigger room because the ceiling's high enough, there isn't sound bouncing off there. And hopefully the windows are far enough away that natural light doesn't stream in at different times of the day. So at all points for your recording, you should never use natural lighting. You should never have a window behind you. Changing its natural light all day. I can certainly go and find lots of cases of people who are not doing lighting properly, but I don't want to be rude, so we won't do that. But you can certainly understand, and certainly seen it on Zoom, where someone has a light behind you from the windows and that light is brighter than them, so you can't even see them. Now, they may be wanting to do that, but it just doesn't look good. So windows, it's best to not depend on sunlight to light your face on video. Remove it from the lighting by blocking out the sunlight with a curtain, or you could use panels. Use reliable daylight studio lights, always with a consistent light, and you can record at any time of the day or night. So my room right now is quite dark, like really dark. Not dark enough that, it's nighttime, but with the lights, I can do this anytime because it's always a consistent light. So the space needing to do face recordings is as much as the size of a desk with lights on either side and a screen as a background. And it's just dependent on your webcam and what kind of long distance it has and the scale. But we'll talk about the webcam at another time. But surprisingly, I think I'm about 6 feet away from my webcam, and we'll just show you. So I'm about 6 feet away from my webcam, but it looks like I'm 10 to 20 away because of the illusion of the background. And of course, I have adjusted the size of my space within XSplit. I use XSplit as my broadcaster, so I have a lot more control on the size of me. So I could actually make myself bigger by enlarging the photo, or smaller, that kind of thing, just by adjusting it. Right now it's here, so we'll just leave it here for the recording. But you can always adjust the size of who you are, as long as you make sure that you have your webcam to not autofocus, but just long distance, so that you're always distance away and it doesn't want to adjust to get you closer. So sound is another thing you have to really consider when you're planning your studio space, especially if you're going to be doing podcasting, or if you're going to obviously doing video recordings. You want to make sure that the sounds from in the house or the apartment, from other people, from your animals, etc., is not available on the recording, so that you have to delete it each time. You need to have a really good microphone that will just pick you up and not all the other ambient sounds in the room. So, however, no matter how big the space is, you'll need to test how your recording sounds when you set up your studio. So, on another episode, of course, I'll discuss how to cut out distracting sounds. But for now, you need to go look for a space in your house or apartment that has consistent lighting you can control. Now, a lot of people also will do improv. They'll take their laptop and go outside and go to the coffee shop and do trainings sitting in front of their computer, and that's fine. But the question becomes, how good is that recording that someone would watch it? Or is the ambient sound that's behind distracting? Is the ambient sounds of people outside doing their activities, the cars, the sirens, etc., is that going to be on the recording? And once you have a recording with your voice and the sound of a fire engine on top, it's very hard to separate the sounds, and why should you? So you have to ask yourself that whether or not you really want to do recordings that you want to do as a course or presentation out in the environment where you have no control over the sound, you have no control over the light. I mean, we will talk about mobile, and I'll try and do a couple of mobile and just show you how different it can be. And certainly you can do those, but if you're going to be doing recordings that people want to watch, it might be best to have a good sound, because regardless of the quality of your webcam or the quality of your recording, if your sound isn't good on the recording, no one's going to watch it because no one's going to listen to it. So that's about it for now. I hear the phone ringing in 2 doors away, and I removed the phone from this room, luckily, because otherwise you'd hear it. So always remember that. So next time we'll look at sound in your space, and we'll look at the ambient sound and seeing how you can test it. And if you want to learn more about how to produce your first show and what equipment you need and how to set it up so that you have an easy show that you can do, and how to repurpose that show, you can get it at 7 Steps to Produce Your First Show. You can get that plus checklists and resources at https://jane-gardner.com/live. And that will get you to the link to sign up. And the first thing you'll get will be the 7 steps to produce your first show, and you'll get some tips on the equipment to buy to set up and do your first show. So, is there any questions? We have a look. Oops. Any questions? Not at the moment. So I will get you the Zoom link next time so that you can ask questions. But for now, let's go and talk about where you can view the rest of the shows. So you can view the show on the website. I've made a website called letsgetvisibleshow.com, and the page /Let's Go Live. Show is with the hyphens between let's go live show. That is supposed to have it live on it when I'm doing it, so you could always hang out there. Let's have a look. Yeah, My stream might be too much. It'd be interesting to see if that works next time. And you can see the previous show on letsgetvisibleshow.com / let's-go-live-show-archives. I've got the last ones on Mindset there. I'll put this one up this week. And of course, you can get notifications, checklists. I have a checklist I should get out into the email list, as well as I have 3 pages, lights, how to set up your lights, how to set up your, what to do for your camera, etc. I should get those into the email list so that you can download those to get much easier to get your show started. So thank you for listening. This has only been 20 minutes, so that's good. And my apologies if I haven't answered your questions, but we'll be having a challenge in August and you can get all your questions answered and advice on how to set up your studio and your camera and your lighting. And then, so thank you.